First of all, a very good evening to all of you present here. So, for today's webinar, the topic is so. First of all, what is going to be our agenda? So, mainly this session is for the board students and actually how they can prepare for the competitive exams along with their board exams. So, yeah, so it's a very like a difficult task for a because for like a student in the first attempt it becomes very difficult for them to actually appear for both the exams simultaneously and becomes some like they face a lot of difficulties in there is a difference in the pattern in both the exams. So we are going to like have a basic intro on that, and then we are going to have the strategies onto the same. So I would like Devesh to continue the same. Sorry, Jay to continue.
Yeah, so as Viksit said, like this whole session is basically meant for 2026 aspirants, whether it's JEE or NEET aspirants. So, how to manage boards with the competitive exam. That is what we are going to discuss in this session. And we also managed board exams with our competitive exams, so we can exactly tell you before it's too late, like how to manage a board exam, what are the things you should keep in mind, and how you should allocate your time so that it doesn't feel hectic at the end. So let's proceed with the session. Okay.
Okay, so the first main question that student asked that how can we actually prepare for both the exams side by side. So I will give my opinion for the NEET, and then Jay will give his opinion on the J exam. So for the NEET exam, the very basic thing is like for especially the biology part, there is actually nothing more to study than the NCRT. That's the Bible for the NEET exam. So for both the subtopics in the biology, that is the botany and the zoology, the only thing that you have to study is the NEET NCRT only, nothing more than that. But the question that many students arise that how can we actually revise the 12th along with the like boards, because in the board exam only the 12th part comes, right? So the students always have a query that how we can actually revise 11th along with the 12th. So the thing is my concern is always that you actually have a month spare always, a month always, a month or 2 months before the actual NEET exam. Like after the boards you actually have 1 or 2 months left for your main exam. In that 1 or 2 months you actually can revise a lot for uh, for NEET exam as well. Not only like the 11th part, you can also revise the 12th part. 1.5 months is very much like a very enough time for the biology part. So you don't have to stress a lot for that part. For the board exam, just focus on the NCRT, do the previous year questions, and when it comes to the NEET part, then just do the MCQs of the same. There is nothing more to do for the biology part, and physics chemistry is also the same. You just have to do the PYQs and for the boards, and just the MCQ approach of the same. Okay, so that's for the NEET.
Yeah, so like Viksit said, for NEET, uh, we just have to, there's nothing extra preparation that is required for the board exams. If you are good, like you are sincere about your JEE or NEET preparation, and if you like for the maths, I will say that it is about practice. Like a lot of toppers, if you see of JEE, so they get full marks in math, like board exam, because in maths you don't have to write a lot of things. You just need to present it well, and ultimately you just need to get to the answer. While for physics and chemistry, the only thing required is a habit of writing. So for that, what you could do is you can solve previous year board papers. So you don't have to solve it from right now, but like 1 month before, you can start attempting one. paper a day, and it will give you a habit of how to present it well, how to present your ideas. And if you're from CBSE board, then it is good because JEE syllabus is very compatible with NCRT. But if you're from Maharashtra board, even then the syllabus, there won't be any extra thing in the syllabus. But like in my case, I was from Maharashtra board. So in Maharashtra board, we had 11 syllabus in class 12. So we had to like revise accordingly. So that you can figure out. So that's why it's important to also give the prelims. Like a lot of students, they ask me, should we skip the prelims, or like we should directly give the final board exam. But it's a good thing if you like give the prelims. You shouldn't judge on the basis of prelims, but it should be just like you can practice, you can get a real feel of how your board exam is going to be. So it's always good to give the prelims and also solve the board exam, like the previous year questions. Apart from that, like for JEE especially, like there are a lot of derivations and all also asked in the board exam. So if you're preparing for JEE Advanced, then you already know the derivations, and because it's required for JEE Advanced to know the derivations. So it will help you if you prepare the derivation for boards. So like I remember in circular motion, there was a derivation. So it came in the advanced paper also and in my boards paper also. So it helped me both ways. So it shouldn't feel like we are wasting time in preparing for board exam. Rather, we should like see it in positive way. Apart from that, a lot of people what they do is they like they study just 1 or 2 days before the board exam. Like I'm saying about the extra subject. Like some people have electronics or like some physical education or any extra subject they have taken. So for that preparation, what they do is they apply the same strategy. They do it only 1 or 2 days before. Then it feels like very hectic and you're not able to score well. So it's better that from now onwards only, like 2, 3 months before, you can give, let's say, 2 hours on weekends. You can give like either on Sunday or on like Saturday. You can give 2 hours for studying that particular subject, so that it doesn't feel hectic at the end. And for practicals, also a lot of people. So I will tell about myself, like how I managed it. So for practicals, what I used to do was I used to like give only 10 minutes a day for writing the journal and everything. And I used to submit it on Monday. Like after 1 week exact, I used to submit my journal. So, like, though there was no attendance like policy in our school, but they used to ask for the practical submission. Like every month, they used to ask me rather than asking towards the end. So it was a good thing, I feel. And this is how you should manage your boards with the, like, yeah. Anything else you want to add with?
No, like it's like managing both the things simultaneously. That's very important for preparation of your both the exams. Now the next question, specifically, that what are the common mistakes that students should always avoid? So especially the session is for board exams. So the one thing that I always believe that student do a lot of like mistake, a lot of mistakes. The one of the key mistake is that they try to like gather all the informations present in the like whole biosphere. They try to solve every book possible. Like I have actually seen some neat aspirants doing the Irodov. Like that's a very tough one for and only some toppers like even the J advanced solved that book. Uh, it it actually don't doesn't have any significance neither for the board nor for the NEET exam. Yeah. So solving such books and gathering such informations like some students try to gather the information related to the uh, MBBS part, and then they will try to say like for like if like giving an example in the circulatory system, there is a topic of the heart, and they are trying to actually gather more information about every structure possible, like about the chord and how they are formed and all. But that's actually not important. Even in the MBBS, only the some students actually know that thing. So they try to gather all the things, and some actually try to become over smart. They that they have the more knowledge, but that doesn't actually in the practical scenario, that doesn't mean if you have the more knowledge, then you have the more marks, or if you have the more of the stuff that actually doesn't exist. So the one of the mistake that I feel, like gathering a whole source of the stuff and then studying everything. Instead, what you should prefer, you should prefer mainly your NCRT based for the board exams as well as for the NEET exam. It will work for the both. Okay, so just have a single source, but have a multiple revision of that source. The multiple revision of that single source is very very important, and the question bank along with the source. Just you have to do this. Another mistake that I feel, that student often while they're practicing doesn't note their timings on the question. Yeah, for the particular exams like in the for the J mains and the NEET, the timing is a like a very key factor, because the questions are more and the timing is comparatively less. Okay, so yeah, you have to do solve have a proper time management, and have a timer with solving the question. And also that goes for the boards also, because in boards exam what student used to do is that they write a whole of the stuff in the first question, and when it comes till the end, some questions are left and all. So you should have a great speed in writing and the stuff. So these are the common mistake that I have found. Moving on to Jay.
Yeah, like you said, like you covered the most common mistakes and the important thing which you mentioned, like what lot of people they go for a lot of resources and lot of information. Like now, Divesh is also asking like any reference book for boards. So, I mean, NCRT is a very good book, and if you follow it, then it is more than sufficient for boards at least. So, NCRT is quite helpful, and if you're not understanding NCRT, then you can go for other reference books, but I wouldn't suggest you to refer them for boards. If you want to understand it well, then there are also like line by line explanation and etc. on various platforms like YouTube, and also you can go for that as well. One more common mistake which I feel is a lot of people like they don't like while they are solving the board paper, they are just getting to the answer. They are not explaining how they got the answer. So you need to express it in your words properly, and you should have a habit. That's why it's important to solve the board paper. And apart from that, it's also like a lot of people don't see the syllabus well. Like in Maharashtra board, if you're from Maharashtra board, then there are some extra things which are there, but which are not there in JEE syllabus. So you have to study them as well because if you want to score good, and there is also a minimum criteria of 75% for JEE mains. So you have to clear that criteria. So for that, you need to study those extra stuff, and it shouldn't be on the last moment. It should be before only, like while you're preparing for JEE, you can put yeah, sure, you can speak, Devesh.
Okay, namaste भैया आप दोनों को. And my question is that ki, how can we manage, like I'm from MP board basically, and it's quite easy than CBSE, and or so I cannot find the time because अभी JEE means is just on मतलब समझ रहे हो बिल्कुल आ ही गया है. ठीक है, एज पर ही है ना. टाइम हमारा पीक वाला चल ही रहा है. तो आप लोगों ने भी ऐसे सिचुएशंस बिल्कुल देखी हैं, तो आप लोगों ने कैसे टैकल किया इस चीज़ को?
Yeah, so like your JEE mains is just in next month, right?
हम्म.
So now you might be having practical submissions and etc. Right?
नहीं, आई एम फ्रॉम अ डमी स्कूल। और एक्चुअली मैं बताऊं तो एमपी बोर्ड में नहीं, ये प्रैक्टिकल वगैरह तो होते नहीं है, सीबीएसई में होते हैं। और यही चीज़ है, और मतलब थोड़ा वैसे ही ढीला बोर्ड है कहूँ तो। हम मतलब मैं भी इसी साल आया हूँ इसमें।
ओके ओके। और बोर्ड एग्जाम कब है?
बोर्ड एग्जाम भैया 7 Feb, यानी कि जेई मेंस के 7 days उसके बाद में। 31st इज द लास्ट
ओके ओके
लास्ट
ओके।
शिफ्ट, तो उसके बाद है।
Mm-hmm. So in this case, what you could do is, because it was very similar to my case, because I also had, I think my board exam in March, and in February we had our first attempt at my, like, in 2023. So it is very similar to my case. So what I did was, there are some common syllabus, right, between your board syllabus and JEE
हाँ जी।
syllabus. Hmm. So what I did was I focused on those, like I revised those chapters from NCRT. Like especially for physics and chemistry, what I did was I read NCRT for those chapters, and also I saw the previous year board questions. So I just saw it. I did
क्वेश्चन
not fully
एंड यू।
solve them. मैंने बस उसे like
यू
पढ़ा,
जस्ट सी
and
देम।
I just tried
हाँ।
to know like what they are trying to ask and how I will proceed with that.
आस्क। यू आर
Hmm.
जस्ट seeing the pattern and understanding the
Yeah, I
pattern of
was
how
just
they ask the
understanding
question.
the pattern
Hmm.
of how they are asking the question, like what type of questions are asked in boards. And if you just do it for one or two topics, then you will get an idea of what kind of question board usually
Hmm.
asks. So
Asks.
it's not a big. You just need
Hmm.
to learn how to present them. So what on
Hmm.
weekends I used to do was I used to, like let's say in a week I have revised 4 5 topics in physics, chemistry, maths. So I used to solve the board questions uh, on weekend. Like let's say on Sunday I used to solve from the previous year.
ओके, सो
Hmm.
आपने ये जो सॉल्विंग थी, मतलब जो एनसीईआरटीज थी, तो आपने ये गैप टाइम में ही पढ़ा था या फिर यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर लाइक 2 or 3 months बिफोर?
No, no, no. I was saying that while I was preparing for the first attempt, I was doing this like around two
व्हेन यू
months
आर
before.
प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर?
Like for
अच्छा,
the first
2 months
attempt,
बिफोर।
I covered my entire syllabus. So I was also preparing for the first attempt, JEE main.
हम्म।
So while like with that only I started my board's preparation. So I focused on the overlapping syllabus, which was overlapping with boards. So
हाँ।
I followed this strategy, and there was
हम्म।
also a few question banks. I suppose your board would also have a question bank, right? So question bank
Yep,
may be
we
like
have
question.
Pariksha, then something else.
Mm-hmm. So that helps a lot, because after solving that, you get an idea of how to present and what words. Basically, it's
Hmm.
just a game of English, like how you express it well, and
Present the things.
also the keywords. You just need to
Hmm.
write those keywords. Viksit, you want to say anything?
नो द थिंग इज एक्चुअली मैंने एमपी बोर्ड का तो एग्जैक्टली मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा आइडिया नहीं है। बट द थिंग इज कि हाँ, मेरा एक दोस्त तो था लाइक 12th में एंड ऑल, तो या हाँ, बोर्ड्स काफ़ी चिल होते हैं इनके, एमपी बोर्ड के। देर इज नॉट द सो मच ऑफ इश्यूज विद द थिंग। बट द थिंग इज कि अभी मेरे को लगता है कि देवेश, आप जेई मेंस पे फोकस करो, क्योंकि
Hmm.
अगर जेई मेंस के बाद भी जस्ट अगर आप बोर्ड्स पे फोकस करोगे ना, देन भी बोर्ड्स का तो हो ही जाएगा, मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला। क्योंकि अगर जेई मेंस का सिलेबस आता है, एटलीस्ट मैं बिलीव करता हूँ केमिस्ट्री फिजिक्स के लिए, तो बोर्ड्स तो वैसे हो ही जाते हैं।
Hmm.
हम्म। एंड मैथ्स में तो जो जय कह ही रहा है कि मतलब काफी इजी होता है, लाइक स्कोरिंग करना भी। अगर जेई मेंस की मैथ्स हो जाएगी तो बोर्ड्स की
Hmm.
तो काफी इजी रहेगी ही, तो उसके लिए
Hmm.
कोई दिक्कत है ही नहीं। तो अभी आप अपना
हाँ, ये
पूरा
तो।
टेंशन जेई मेंस पे कर सकते हो, कोई इशू नहीं
Hmm.
है, क्योंकि उसके बाद बोर्ड्स के होंगे, एक ही बात है, वही चीजें पड़ी हैं।
भैया। और हाँ, वैसे एमपी बोर्ड इज क्वाइट चिल बोर्ड का उसे तो, क्योंकि सच में ये बहुत ज़्यादा चिल है। मतलब वी वर आस्किंग, आई मेट अ सीनियर टुडे, सो ही वाज सेइंग अस कि टीचर्स द इन्विजिलेटर्स हंस, मतलब जो इन्विजिलेटर थी, तो वो खुद कह रही कि चीटिंग कर लो मगर आवाज मत करो, तो दिस काइंड ऑफ वर्ड इज एमपी वर्ड।
नहीं नहीं, वो चीटिंग करने वाला तो चलो फैक्टर बाद में, बट मैं
हाँ
ऐसा
वो बात
बता
का है,
रहा हूँ
पर
कि
हाँ
अगर
एटलीस्ट बाकी
कि
इसका
अगर आप
पेपर भी बहुत
वैसे अगर
सिंपल
जेई
आता है।
मेंस के हिसाब से पढ़ लोगे तो कोई भी बोर्ड हो, वो लेवल कम ही होगा उसका।
हाँ।
हम्म, दैट्स द थिंग आई वांट टू से।
हम्म। अच्छा, आपने हिंदी इंग्लिश के लिए क्या किया था वैसे? आप दोनों ने?
हिंदी एक्चुअली आई डोंट थिंक सो कि मेरे पास हिंदी थी ना। मेरे पास एडिशनल में हिंदी नहीं थी। आई हैव फिजिकल एजुकेशन। एंड द सेकंड थिंग अबाउट इंग्लिश, इंग्लिश इज वेरी इजी सब्जेक्ट। यू कैन एक्चुअली हैव अ क्विक recap of every subject, like every chapter in just 1 or 2 days. I have barely studied for English, like one
अच्छा,
or
तो
two days
फिर
only.
फिर आपने मतलब स्टार्टिंग से इंग्लिश के लिए तो आई गेस नहीं किया होगा, क्योंकि वो उसको
नहीं
पढ़ने
नहीं,
में मतलब नहीं, बोर्ड के बीच में जब
just
वो तब।
stories है। मतलब you can just watch a YouTube like lecture or a quick
हाँ।
recap of 20 minutes, and then the Q&A of the chapters. Just that works fine.
अच्छा जय भैया, आपने यू हैड हिंदी?
Yeah, actually, I did not have Hindi, but I took Sanskrit as an optional. I mean, I had English also. With that, I took one
हम्म।
Sanskrit because like मैंने 6 standard से like मतलब स्कूल में भी
हाँ,
संस्कृत ही लिया
संस्कृत।
था, so I was like I like Sanskrit. I mean, so इसलिए वो लिया था मैंने, तो उसके लिए भी preparation like there were stories and all in Sanskrit में भी like it is very similar to Hindi. But the only thing benefit of taking Sanskrit is like जो spelling mistakes होता है usually, तो उसको neglect कर दिया जाता है संस्कृत में. They don't worry about spelling mistake as much as they in Hindi. तो तुम्हारी अगर हिंदी है तो वही थोड़ी मतलब आई वुडंट से उसके लिए कुछ एक्स्ट्रा प्रिपरेशन चाहिए होगा. बट लाइक इन फ्री टाइम यू कैन राइट एसेज एंड समथिंग लाइक दैट. एसेज और स्टोरी
हम्म।
राइटिंग और जो भी होता है लाइक ईमेल राइटिंग एंड ऑल. तो जैसे हिंदी का होता है तो वो तुम लिख के यू कैन गेट अ हैंग ऑफ हाउ टू लाइक कैसे कैसे लिखना होता है बेसिकली. उसके लिए यू कैन डू इट बिकॉज इन इंग्लिश ऑल्सो. इंग्लिश में जो मतलब लिटरेचर वाला पार्ट होता है दैट इज समथिंग यू कैन डू एंड ऑल्सो. और बाकी जो राइटिंग वाला इफ यू वांट टू स्कोर गुड, सो फॉर
हम्म।
दैट यू शुड मतलब थोड़ा एक दिन कभी निकाल लिया सो वीक में तो
हाँ,
मतलब इट विल वर्क.
मॉक्स वगैरह के लिए उसके इंग्लिश का मॉक अगर कहें तो मॉक्स लगा सकते हैं इंग्लिश के।
हाँ
दैट
लगा
वुड हेल्प।
सकते हो. बट लाइक विक्सित ऑल्सो सेड कि अभी तुम्हारा फोकस जेई मेंस पे होना चाहिए क्योंकि जेई मेंस इज जस्ट इन नेक्स्ट मंथ राइट. तो
हाँ भैया,
उसमें
एक
अभी
आपसे एडवाइस चाहिए थी। यू आर फ्रॉम ऑफलाइन और ऑनलाइन?
आई एम फ्रॉम लाइक मिक्स. आई मीन 11th में मैं ऑनलाइन था but 12th I joined LN offline in Mumbai.
अच्छा, तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि आपने वन शॉट्स अगर देखे हो तो आप प्रेफर कर सकते हैं किसके लिए? क्योंकि अभी ना मेरा केमिस्ट्री में थोड़ा क्या है, मैं सेल्फ स्टडी वाला मतलब बंदा हूँ। तो मैं किसी कोचिंग से नहीं करता। पर हाँ, केमिस्ट्री के लिए मैं ज़रूर लेक्चर्स देखता हूँ। पर अब क्योंकि लेक्चर्स देखना इज़ नॉट, अब उतना टाइम बचा नहीं है, तो वो ज़्यादा
I get
एफिशिएंट
you,
और
I
अब
get
वो
you.
काम का नहीं है। तो वन शॉट के लिए क्या किया मतलब? मैंने देखा था एल्कोहल्स फिनॉल्स एंड ईथर कई आज ही, तो
हम्म.
मेरे तो भाई पल्ले नहीं पड़ा वो
तो
सच में भैया, तो
वन
क्या करना
शॉट
चाहिए?
में लाइक एक जेई वाला आई मीन जेई वाला चैनल यू नो राइट. उसमें वो आर
हाँ।
ए सर आई गेस हिज उनके वन शॉट ऑर्गेनिक के लिए बहुत अच्छे हैं. लाइक लॉट ऑफ माय मेंटीज दे हैव फॉलोड वन शॉट फॉर स्पेसिफिक ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री. उन्होंने वहाँ से देखा था और इवन मैंने भी कुछ कुछ हाइड्रोकार्बन्स वगैरह वो सब चीजें वहां से पढ़ी थी. एंड वन शॉट का लाइक यू सेड तो वो मतलब वन शॉट देख सकते हो बट उसको ऐसा मत देखा करो कि लाइक एक ही बार में सब देख लिया. तो दैट इज नॉट मतलब उससे तुम्हें कुछ समझ नहीं आएगा. तो वन शॉट को भी पार्ट्स में देखा करो. लाइक इफ इट इज 6 hours वन शॉट देन डिवाइड इट इन 2 2 hours. तो 3 4 दिन में उसको खत्म करो. साइड बाय साइड बाकी सब्जेक्ट भी पढ़ो. व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज
हम्म।
कि एक साथ देखोगे तो इतनी सारी चीजें फिर समझ नहीं आती है और फिर वेस्ट ही चले जाते हैं वन शॉट देखना. बट ऑब्वियसली यू कैन टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम वन शॉट लाइक इवन you won't believe but last year there was a girl like she entirely studied from one shot and she landed in IIT Bombay. I mean now she is studying aerospace. So सिर्फ 4 महीने में उसने
हाँ,
clear
अच्छा,
कर
आप जानते हैं मतलब आपके वो थी क्या मेंटी आपकी कोई?
दिया. हाँ मेरी मेंटी थी अंतर.
अच्छा भैया, आप बता सकते हैं क्या एक्चुअली, मतलब मुझे बहुत जान के बहुत आश्चर्य हुआ इस चीज का कि वन शॉट कैन हेल्प.
Obviously, one shot can help, but the only thing is it depends on how you watch the one shot. Like I said, if you watch it in one sitting, then you can't absorb all the content. I think which it will
Hmm.
also.